Good morning, students. So as you know, this week we have been reading about the Buffalo Soldiers. Now, you know the Buffalo Soldiers went many places, Texas, the Indian Territory, which is now Oklahoma, all these different places. But it's important to know that some of those soldiers came from right here in North Carolina. So during the Civil War, the president, who was Abraham Lincoln, he was given the power to let African American soldiers into the army, which he wasn't allowed to before. But Congress decided that it was very important to let these African American soldiers into the army because they could help the North win the war. He was also given the power to free slaves, he being Abraham Lincoln. He was given the power to free slaves in the southern states, so those are the Confederacy. That would include North Carolina. So, African Americans can be soldiers now, and they freed all the slaves in the South, which meant that a lot of those former slaves, so they're now free, fought for the North. They fought for Abraham Lincoln, for the North, for the Union. Because they got their freedom. So 5,000 African Americans from North Carolina served in the military for the Union. That included 4 regiments. And as we know from the reading, I'm going to stop here, see if somebody remembers, what is a regiment? All right. If you said it was a military group comprised of a couple smaller military units, something along those lines, you're good. All right. So they were led by white officers, just like the Buffalo Soldiers you were reading about. They didn't work alongside the other white soldiers. They were kept separate, just like the Buffalo Soldiers. And their treatment was about the same. But at least 2 of these regiments were given high praise for their skill. And when they returned home, their communities, the other African Americans who had not served in the military, treated them like heroes. So, now, students, the question is for you. How are these 5,000 African American soldiers, how are they related to the Buffalo Soldiers that we've been reading about? That is going to be your question. What part did North Carolina play when it comes to the Buffalo Soldiers?